Hard to return to work after a hurricane. So what can bosses do to help their employees get back on track? Dr. Fadil is chair of the UNF Department of Management, and he's here to help us sort it out. Well, one of the things we're really talking about here are people that had their homes just destroyed. They've been cleaning up all this debris for the last week. I have a friend, this happened to her. She had several feet of water in her house. She posted a picture today walking back into work. She had to borrow a pair of heels because all her shoes were destroyed as well as her clothes. I mean, it's very emotional for some of these, for many of these people.
It really is. And I think what happens is that while you're at work trying to concentrate and focus on work, kind of like you came back from a vacation, you know, there's always those 3 or 4 days where there are 10 times more things to do. Now all of a sudden, you not only have cleanup and things to do at home, for a lot of people, there's no safe haven at home. There's no power. You may be in a hotel room. It's really a miserable situation all around. And I think people try to equate it by saying, well, you know, you're coming back after a week off. You know, you should be rested. Well, nothing about Hurricane Irma was restful,
right,
as you know.
And that certainly wasn't a vacation for these people either.
True.
So this is where the companies and the employers can really make a difference. So one of the first things that you're saying is just try to understand what some of these people have been through.
Yeah, and also understand that you have different people going through different things. So whereas somebody may be completely fine, somebody might have flooding in the house, somebody might not be able to go back in their house, may not have power, some people might have lost everything. You know, and how you react to that is also very important. With that, too, people come back at different times. Now, that also affects the people where nothing happened, because now they're picking up the slack for other people.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
And you have to make sure there's no animosity there as well.
Some people might not come back at all after that as well.
Yeah, this has been a huge emotional time for a lot of people, and when that happens, like a death in the family, we kind of take a look and, you know, assess and reassess and, you know, wonder, is this all worth it? What's it all for? Let me start living life. And a lot of people don't come back.
So how can organizations help?
Well, understanding, first of all, understanding with time, understanding with being flexible with the time off to go and meet different people. Also, I've seen a lot of organizations, especially for those that were hardest hit, contribute funds and basically come together. This can either be an incredible bonding experience or it can be something that tears employees apart. It is an opportunity that you can come out of this stronger, but you have to do it correctly and you have to show really good leadership.
Okay, what about employee expectations? Because I know that, you know, those that are coming back, I mean, they certainly, like we just mentioned, have not been on vacation, but you have to think of those as well that you were talking about that may not have had anything happen.
Yeah, and with the ones that didn't have anything happen, they look at it, and you need to look at it that, okay, for the next couple weeks, everything's going to be a little bit wonky, everything's going to be out of sorts. On the other side, for those that have had major damage, they need to understand, because they see this more in terms of longer term, that at least at work, that it has to be temporary. Sooner or later, you have to get back to the nuts and bolts of doing your job, especially if over the long haul you still want to have a job. I
think of some of the, you know, the sales-related positions and people that are, you know, losing money, and also just businesses that have shut down. How do you suggest that people deal with that stress?
Yeah, that is a $100,000 question. In terms of the shutting down of businesses, it's going to take a lot of time for these businesses because there are hidden costs here. There's insurance costs, there's more repairs that you don't see, not to mention human resources, again, that come and go. For the people involved, you have family, develop your support network, understand that this is temporary, and not to use a cliche, but this too shall pass.
Yeah, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And hopefully we won't see a repeat of Irma like we did with Matthew. Thank you.
I'm scared of Maria.
I know. Well, you know, our meteorologist, we're about to hear from them again. He says he's not nervous at the time, so we're going to check back in with Mark in just a few minutes. But if you'd like to share this interview in the meantime, if you'd like to share it maybe with your boss, we're going to post it on the morning show page of news4jax.com. Stacey?